Hello, I am Nimja, and this is Nimja Live, April 2019, with the theme Lucid Dreaming. Hello everyone, good evening. And first of all, I'd like to thank my patrons and donators for their continued and absolutely amazing support. And of course, if you're unaware, the file for this will be on the site shortly after the event itself on hypno.nimja.com/listen. And let me see, I feel the camera slightly off today. There we go. All right. Now, there's also some other things I'd like to discuss. In October, I believe, I reached 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. And because of that, YouTube gave me a very lovely silver button. This gave me the idea to do something similar for the gold patrons who've been with me for a longer time. So on Patreon, gold patrons that have supported me for 6 months, either like now or in the future, in the past, they will get a card and a pin sent by mail. And this is the pin that, let me see if I can get the camera to focus. Just a simple pin that you can pin on your clothing if you've been a very, very loyal patron. And of course, if you qualify, you get an email from me automatically, because I do my best to have all my systems as efficient as possible. That's what you get if you're a programmer. You try to automate everything that you can automate anyway. Now, the structure of the live, for those of you who have not been here before, is that first of all we will discuss the theme, then we will do the trance itself. During the trance I'd ask you to be quiet, and afterwards we will do the Q&A where you can ask any questions and I may answer. While you are at liberty to ask, I am just as at liberty to answer. And I'm sure that it wouldn't be a surprise to some familiars to hear me not answer every question equally helpful. Now let's see if I'm forgetting anything else. In 2 weeks there will be a Nimja Live Lite. Voting will be up a little while after the live. And in May there will be a Hypnosis Amsterdam meetup again in the middle of the month. Of course, you can see all of this on hypno.nimja.com/live. And welcome, both familiar and those new. Let us discuss the theme, lucid dreaming. Oh, that's a good question, actually. No, not everyone gets to see the live light. The live light is only for silver and gold patrons. Of course, the file itself will be available to all patrons, and after a year, the file is also available to everyone. Now, lucid dreaming, what ideas do you guys have? I did some research myself as well to see how most other people would invoke lucid dreaming or induce it. And mostly it's based on visualization and awareness of yourself while falling asleep. Now this I may be able to trigger in you, but what other senses do you have or desires do you have for lucid dreaming? Lucid dreaming is the awareness during sleep to be in control of your dreams. And this can be anything from full control to partial control. So you can be in control of your dream in the sense that you can control each and every detail, shape the world around you, or simply keep some control of yourself, like being able to fly or have powers, or like designate actors in your dreams. It's quite interesting. A pill that induces lucid dreaming. It's a cool idea for another life, but not for this one. And if you're wondering if you're dreaming or not, actually, almost everyone dreams. Insomnia literally means not dreaming. But most people, and yes, it's like meditative lucidity while sleeping. And remembering your dreams doesn't actually mean that you wake up or not. It depends really per person. Some people have a very easy time remembering their dreams. Most people dream multiple dreams per night, actually. Being able to change into an animal, a deepener. A reality check. And yes, this is my normal voice. And remember, we'll do a Q&A after the trance. And Jan has a very valid point that if you do wake up multiple times, you tend to remember your dreams more. Alright, but let's see what kind of effect. Falling, flying. Let's write flying and not frying. And yeah, sleep medication can definitely affect your dreams. Visiting the past. Helping to remember. One of the things actually that I often have is being able to breathe underwater. And very happy to see that so many of you have been able to make it. I wonder if I should do a labyrinth. A labyrinth is a cool theme for a dream. Wow, that is a interesting sentence to say. A cool theme for a dream, but not really one for a lucid dream, because a labyrinth usually means that you're lost rather than in control. Changing shapes is an interesting one. And I wrote down falling and flying already, controlling the perspective of another person. Flying or jumping. Perspective. And no, we're not going to do Nimja Incorporated. So a maze or a labyrinth is not actually a good subject for a lucid dream. Alright, I have a few things, and I think it's enough. Alright. There it is. Now, the way lucid dreaming is going to work is I'm not going to give you a whole dream. I'm actually going to work on unlocking your ability to lucid dream. Now, I hope everyone will get themselves ready for the trance, and I will mention some things like swimming, flying, jumping, or falling. And this is a non-kinky stream. It's still age-restricted, of course, because of the Q&A afterwards. However, the trance itself will be non-kinky. No matter how sad that makes you. Alright, well, I'd like everyone to get ready. Make sure you're in a very comfortable place, headphones ideally, and able to just listen and relax. And don't worry about the presence of kink files. Oh, actually, I almost forgot something. File 500 is coming up. Thursday, not coming one, but the one after, will be the 500th official file in normal file flow. I've made much more than just 500 files, but expect something special. And also the files leading up to file 500 tend to be a bit naughtier as well. And indeed, have 1,000. It took about 4.5 years to get here, I think. All right. We'll do the Q&A after the trance, remember. Is everyone ready? Don't worry, I won't forget the spiral. Very good. All right, let's begin. Hello, I am Nimja, and this is Nimja Live, Lucid Dreaming. This file will, well, not quite put you to sleep, but rather help you to go to sleep in a specific way. Lucid dreaming is not that far away from trance and hypnosis. In a way, it is a method of self-hypnosis where you are the one still in control of the scene. You will be a changer of worlds, a shaper of universe, able to control the things happening around you and inside of you. How much control you have is entirely up to you. Some enjoy full control over the situation, being able to move mountains with their minds, while others prefer a lighter touch, simply able to move, fly, swim, fall, or jump however they want. And when they do so, you might find yourself following in their footsteps of many before you, enjoying the interesting sensations of your mind hypnotizing itself. Now there are several ways in which you can do this. One of the important things is no matter what method you choose, during the day when you are awake, it is important to realize that you are awake, that you are capable of recognizing reality and noticing the difference when you dream. In a way, there's not that much difference between being awake and being in a dream, other than a certain awareness. The more vivid a dream becomes, the more you're able to see, feel, hear, touch. And you can do this too. So remember to recognize reality for what it is, so that you're also able to recognize it when it isn't. When you are dreaming, if you are able to recognize it, you can realize your abilities to control it. Now, first, it helps to know what a trance is or how to reach it. For yourself, it can be as easy as simply counting down. A lot of people enjoy a simple countdown to let your mind go quiet and enjoy the moments of peace in your head as you count down from 10, breathing, 9, focusing on every count, 8, knowing that you'll still be in control, 7, listening, 6, 5, focusing, 4, 3, very good, 2, 1. And from here, you're simply a drop away from falling into a wonderful deep state. An easy, relaxed moment where your mind just lets go for a little bit, because it's easy to let go of your thoughts, and even more easy to let it happen while you're aware of it, because your mind knows how to recognize a dream, how to drift away from reality and float into this state without a single thought, and yet you are aware. Your thoughts are following along with my words, therefore some part of you is still awake. Right now you're in a trance, both awake and asleep. Your body is resting while your mind is awake and aware. And from this place, from there you can create worlds. You can formalize fantasies throughout your thoughts and drift through dreamscapes crossing your mind. When you're in this state, it helps to tell yourself, I'm dreaming. And when you do so, you'll mention yourself. You imagine being in control, knowing that every part of your mind is capable of going through this. And while you do so, you feel yourself more and more relaxed, and yet also in control, an awareness of your thoughts, your mind, while your body is asleep. In this place, in this state of trance, you can give yourself suggestions, direction. You can decide to control as much as you want to, or to let most of the world simply happen calmly. And the more of the world happens, the more easy it becomes to focus on yourself, on your abilities. Perhaps your dream contains some wonderful feeling of falling, gliding through the air, feeling the rush, just going down deeper and letting gravity pull you down all the way. In your dreams, falling just feels as if you're light as a feather, floating, fluttering, until you reach the ground easily, stepping lightly onto the ground. From there, you could hunch down a little and push yourself off in a jump that towers buildings, that goes so high that far beneath you can see the land. And here, spreading your fingertips almost like wings allows you to fly, controlling the shift of air flowing past you, drifting, gliding, and maybe even flying further. And beyond lies an ocean, a deep sea to dive into, knowing that underwater you can breathe. You are free to swim down and gaze at the beautiful coral reef, swim with dolphins and whales and tiny, beautiful, rainbow glittering fishes. All as easy as breathing. And once you are ready, you may stop for a moment, press your hands together, and then open them again to change the whole world around you as if stepping through a portal. You control the world. Perhaps you want to step into the past, visit your own memories, enjoy time with those you left behind. It is trivial to let yourself enjoy these moments because you control them. You have the power to change your dreams as long as you are aware that you're dreaming. And when you do, it is up to you to choose how much or how little you want to dream. And that can be fun. Now, last but not least, you can also change yourself. Changing shape, changing size, becoming an animal perhaps, or another creature altogether, enjoying the wonderful flow and power of your mind and your ability to change, drifting. Now, to help you, I am going to wake you up again, and afterwards I'm going to put you deep once more. Allowing yourself to wake and go deep very easily will help you in lucid dreaming as you become more and more aware of what you can do. So from a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 wake, you can open your eyes and enjoy yourself, just letting yourself get back to reality, knowing that you're awake and noticing the difference between being in trance and being awake. And once you're fully awake again, it is also just as easy to go back into a trance. Take a deep breath in, and then exhale, going deep, dropping into a wonderful state of trance. It feels so easy now to let your mind drop and drift, float and flutter, swim and fly, jump and fall, going high and falling deep, landing even deeper into a state where you're dreaming. Visualize your world. Like painting a picture, imagine every detail that you desire in your dream. If you want to place it, you can. People, places, objects, and observations, all can be placed inside your dreamscapes, creating a beautiful land unique to you. And once again, I'm going to wake you only to drop you even deeper. But before I do so, I want you to really imagine the world that you want to create. Just paint the perfect picture, all the colors that you want to see, all the objects you want to touch, move, the people you may or may not want in there, and of course, the sounds around you, the sensations of the area. Is it warm or cold? Are you alone or with people? Is it early or late? There are so many ways to paint in the picture, and you can make it an impossible dream with upside-down landscapes where you're falling into the sky and swimming up into the ground. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, wake. And as you blink once again, notice once more the difference between reality and trance. The sweet state in which you fall deep, or open your eyes wide awake and be aware of the possibilities. Are you ready to go back down again and enjoy the lucid dreaming that your mind is capable of? 10, 9, you can do this too, counting yourself down. 8, 7, just imagine yourself going with the flow of the count. 6, 5, as you enjoy that state returning to your mind. 4, 3, it just seems so easy. 2, 1, drop. And when you tell yourself to drop, your body can fall asleep while your mind is hypnotizing itself. Lucid dreaming is a bit like being your own hypnotist, enjoying the suggestions you give yourself and moving from one to the next. What will your next dream be? Where will it take you? And what will you do? What shape will you be in? And how far are you willing to fly or jump, to drift and enjoy? And remember, you are the creator of this world. When you realize that you're dreaming, you can change it. You can make it as nice as you want to. Allow yourself that control. Give yourself that opportunity and enjoy those lucid dreams that you will have later. Now for me, it's time to wake you. I'm not going to put you to sleep, because I know that you will be able to do that yourself. Unless, of course, you want to listen to me a little more, but I'll leave that up to you. 1, 2, slowly waking. 3, 4, more aware. 5, 6, almost there. 7, 8, almost awake. And 9, 10, wake. And notice that you're back to reality. Very good. Well done. And enjoy your sleep later. And welcome back, everyone. All right. There we go. Back to life, back to reality, back to the here and now. And I'm very glad to see that you are enjoying this very much. The file itself is about 18 minutes long. I left in the 2 small mistakes I made, because it sort of fits with the dreamlike style of this one. And reality is the time we experience between dreams. Now, Let's begin the Q&A. Yes, Q&A time. And no, we're not all going to sing Bohemian Rhapsody. As tempting as it is, because I do quite like Queen. I am Jer asked, where did your glasses go? It helps to watch the Nimja live of August in 2018. Morgan asks, is there anything that motivates you to do hypnosis videos? Well, a lot of things really. Like, I really enjoy doing hypnosis, and there's a lot of interesting benefits I get from it. Eagle's Eye asks, sir, what is your favorite riddle? I have no idea, but one I did enjoy was, can a man legally marry the sister of his widow? Little Blue Deer asks, what's your favorite PC game? Well, probably the Portal series. Right now I'm actually playing Supraland, which is a really nice Metroidvania. Jenny asks, which one is your favorite file? I don't really have one favorite. Marcy asks, will I be able to lucid dream every night now? Yeah, lucid dreaming is something you can practice. Irwanasas asks, sir, where's the relaxing music in live? I actually don't do the music at the background during the live, but the file that I upload will contain the music. And Leah Thorpe, it is definitely a riddle. It is not a legal question. You cannot, it's not that you marry a dead person. A dead person cannot marry because they cannot say anything. Yes, a maze or a labyrinth is still something that I will do mockerly. Cheyenne asks, how far in advance do you record files? About a week and a half. Little Katza asks, when it comes to little space, I'm an age regressor. What would someone like me do when it comes to not being able to control the regression? I can barely control it. Well, do you want to control it? Is it that important to you? Katie asks, top 10 favorite files. You're asking me to work very hard here, Katie. Lily Jackson asks, are you into pastel colors or not? Well, I like a lot of colors, but pastel colors have a place in certain things. I also like very bright or very deep colors. Phoebe Jameson asks, how do you come up with or choose different topics for your files? It must be hard coming up with new ideas. Actually, not really. I still have over 200 ideas that I can do. The problem I have is not so much coming up with new ideas, but to do my ideas in different ways. Earlier during a live, someone mentioned that I don't do many different types of inductions, which is very untrue. However, my three most popular files are all based on relaxation inductions. That doesn't mean that relaxation inductions are all I do, but they're simply the most popular because they're very easy to feel. Now, as far as I'm concerned, the conversational inductions are way more interesting and way more fun to play with, but they are simply not the most popular on YouTube. Lily Jackson asks, just out of plain curiosity, have you ever painted your nails? Me? No. Has someone else done this, and did I allow it to happen? Yes. Becca Rose asks, to the robot voice. Lorianne asks, are you willing to make another hour-long file? Well, no. See, the thing is, my files are intended to be used together. So me making an hour-long file means that someone can only listen to it once. And the whole fun is to take an induction and a different fantasy or a different effect, and you can control the context of the induction or the effect. For example, listening to a little file and then a fantasy file is very different from listening to a werewolf file and then the same fantasy file. Dynatron Builds asks, will this get uploaded later, and if so, when? Yes, shortly after the live, about half an hour after the live ends, the file will be on the site on hypno.nimja.com/listen. Jenny Guerrero asks, can you do another fast-talking file? Maybe. Liz Orios asks, when you take over the world, can we swap out handshakes for hugs? I don't know. Handshakes have their place, but we can do hugs. Balkan Mapping asks, do you think you can control your dreams? That is the purpose of lucid dreaming. Lily Jackson asks, have you ever gone through the glue phase? I mean, putting glue all over your hand and then peeling it off when it's all dry. I think I did that in school. Phoebe Jameson asks, do you have any tips for getting into hypnosis? I've been wanting to try hypnosis for a while as a hypnotist rather than just as a listener. Phoebe, on my site on the About page, you can actually see links all the way at the bottom to different places. So on hypno.nimja.com/about, there's 3 really good links. Superer asks, how long do you take making these files? It varies a little bit. Basically, if you were here during the trance part, you see how long it takes. It takes a few minutes to set up, to make an idea and to write down some thoughts about the idea. Usually I write down a couple of phrases, not even full sentences or just simple keywords, and then I record. And depending on the type of file, if it's more of a story file, it takes a little longer because I do an induction then a story, and sometimes it's just an effect file. Alfred F. Jones asks, what fictional place would you most like to go to? I don't know. I mean, the Portal universe seems interesting, but also incredibly deadly. Little Cats asks, do you use binaural beats in your files? They're really good for stimulation. Actually, binaural beats have some upsides and some downsides. And the downsides are that a lot of people don't find them pleasant. So I consciously choose to not use them. But I do use harmonics and some other stuff in the background music. Safra Bleu asks, what would you suggest as a way to cope with sleep paralysis? Relax. Sleep paralysis is not a problem by itself. Cyphlomike Fangirl asks, any games you're looking forward to? Yes, I'm really looking forward to Noita. Irene Dusk asks, my fingertips get cold when I'm hypnotized. Is that normal? Yeah, a lot of people have lower blood pressure when they are in trance. Super asks, are you trying to give us ASMR? Because I'm getting tingles. Safra Bleu asks, the way you said my name gave me chills. Well, I said it a bit like the French would say sacre bleu. Although I'm probably saying it way too harsh. And don't worry, Cheyenne, I have no plans to use binaural beats. My background music has natural harmonics that function a lot nicer than binaural beats. And Minora asks, is heart racing normal while in trance? Yes, it really varies per person. Some people have elevated heartbeats, some people have lower heartbeat or lower blood pressure. Desiree asks, I've looked up a lot of hypnosis videos with out-of-bodies experiences. Is this something you've thought of doing? In fact, I have done a few. There's mental teleportation, which I think is my cleanest or clearest out-of-body experience. Cyphlomike Fangirl asks, can your evil laugh? Yes, my evil can laugh very well. Two people have asked, can you talk Dutch? Ja, ik kan Nederlands praten. En ik kan ook zachtjes Nederlands praten. Susie Brown asks, can you explain binaural beats, please? Basically, it's playing one frequency in one ear and a very close frequency in the other so that there's an interference between them. Vegan asks, what type of music do you listen to? That depends on what I'm doing. Usually upbeat or a lot of chill out stuff. Little Cats asks, oh my god, can you do a German accent? Vielleicht kann ich etwas in Deutsch sprechen. That technically counts as a German accent. Cheyenne asks, how do your 3 questions translate to Dutch? Not as nicely. Blijkbaar is het heerlijk voor sommige mensen om mij Nederlands te horen praten. Of course, I am talking in a softer voice as well. Wat moet je doen? Wie moet je gehoorzamen? En hoeveel gehoorzaam je? Anyway. Lesorios asks, can you growl? Yes. Which suddenly woke up everyone that was floating into a trance. Lily Jackson asks, which name do you like? Angelica, Eliza, or Peggy? I have the association of married with children with the name Peggy because of Peggy Bundy. Eliza reminds me of a chat program. There used to be a very interesting bot. Phoebe Jameson asks, how many languages do you know? Dutch, English, and a bit of German, French, and a very tiny bit of Japanese. Lucy Egan asks, can you meow? Well, that depends on how, like realistically. Or more of like Pokemon. And there is a dragon voice in several files. And some people are mentioning a Hamilton reference, and I might have missed it indeed. Ooh, a Secret Garden file. I'll double check if I have that in my list, but it's actually... the total relaxation does have like a sort of secret garden, but I do like this idea. To have like a file where different plants and smelling flowers has different reactions. And of the languages I use, Fleance asks, of those languages, which ones do you use on a regular basis? I use English and Dutch like daily. I use German every so often because of a few people who keep asking me to speak German. I speak French almost never, and like Japanese even less. Emily asks, how do you never have Freudian slips? Well, like when I'm reading here, I actually take some time to read the sentence before I read it out loud, so I don't often have Freudian slips. But I definitely have them, just like everyone else. Susie Brown asks, if you would have a child and asked you to do kink hypnosis for them, would you do it? Well, no. There's like... You can do relaxation hypnosis with family and friends, but kinky stuff preferably not. Clever Nickname asks, do you dream in both Dutch and English or just one or the other? That's an interesting question. I don't know if I have an easy answer. Safre Bleu asks, I really want to learn Dutch. How would you suggest going about it? Don't. Dutch is a pointless language. Learn English and learn it well. Especially grammar, because to my disappointment, a lot of people in the US and the UK have very poor grammar when it comes to English. E-Series asks, do you play any instruments? Yes, I play a bit of piano and guitar, but very little. Alfred F. Jones asks, what are some small things that make you happy? I bicycle a lot, so just nice skies are very nice. I don't know if they count as small though. And I have not messed with Duolingo. Tapsy Dog, what are your thoughts on Bayonetta, if you've ever played it? So, I find Bayonetta very interesting because the person who made it and who was in charge of it was female. And it is, in a very interesting way, a celebration of sexuality rather than, like, trying to make women in video games just be sex objects. That being said, the gameplay of Bayonetta is fine. It is a spectacle fighter. Let me see. Are there drugs or psychedelics that you recommend while taking hypnosis? So that's a very interesting question. I haven't found any drugs to have a particularly strong effect with hypnosis. In fact, most drugs and alcohol make hypnosis less effective because you're like less open to the outside world. Golden Heart asks, do you know the Liberty Bell March? Of course I know the Liberty Bell March. Death asks, Nimja, where are you from? I am from the Netherlands. Emily F. asks, thoughts on classical music? it's nice. Leah Thorpe asks, what's the most fun you've had hypnotizing someone? I don't think I can say that on stream. You'll have to ask that question in person, and maybe you'll get lucky enough to get an answer. Vegan asks, do you watch other YouTubers? Yes, I do. I prefer educational channels like Cody's Lab, Smarter Every Day, 1 Minute Physics, and I really like Loading Ready Run, who definitely earn more subscribers. Bogdan the Lurker asks, what about aphrodisiacs? I haven't found any very effective ones outside of hypnosis. And just teasing. And now, for more of the same. Cheyenne asks, is Belgium a tense country? I don't know. Tapsy Dog asks, how do you feel about being into BDSM for 10 years? Well, the funny thing about being into BDSM is that generally it's something that you discover you're already into, and there's just a name for what you're into. It's very rare to sort of discover the name before you discover that you're into it. Leah Thorpe says, also, I really appreciate you pronouncing my name correctly. No one ever does. Aww. Emily asks, have you ever had to keep yourself from laughing while hypnotizing someone? Well, interestingly, you can actually use laughter or giggling as a method to get someone into trance. Because laughter is sort of involuntary, and once you get into a giggle state, it's very difficult to get out of it. E-Series asks, what got you into doing hypnosis? I'm a pervert. Basically, I read an article when I was 11, and I got interested, and I finally got to do something when I was 16. Tapsilog asks, cats or birds? Well, not together at the same time. That's just asking for trouble. Lily Jackson asks, are you Aaron, sir? No, I am not Aaron. Bogdan the Lurker asks, how long have you used the moniker Sir? That's a more difficult one. I don't have an exact time span for that one. Tapsy Dog asks, when was the last time you've been angry? Properly angry? I don't know. It's been quite a while. No, I think I remember something not that far from Christmas. Oh, interesting. Someone said that I was buffering even though I've had no drop frames and YouTube is saying that everything is fine. Fayola asks, how to check if I'm really in trance and hypnotized? Enjoy. Eagle's Eye asks, you have to make a giggling file, please. I would pay to hear it. I believe I have several files. Some little files and laugh with me, or smile with me. And there's 1 or 2 tickling files. Leah Thorpe asks, do you play Dungeons and Dragons ever? Well, I haven't played it in about, I think, 7 months. But other than that, yes, I quite enjoy it. Rachel Me asks, how can laughing take someone under? What's the technique behind that? Well, you want to set up a feedback loop where laughter makes them lose control and laugh more. And that way they can just get so caught up in laughing that they forget to think. And after that, it's just a matter of pressing a button and they'll drop. Also very interesting, Diane says drop really is the number one trigger. I'm one of the few ones who uses drop. Most people use sleep. I used the trigger because I prefer it as more of a command rather than sleep. Becca Rose asks, what do you think about Daddy Dom Little Girl? Are you into it? Do I have 7 or more little files? Safra Bleu asks, do you think we're living in a simulation? Bleep. And indeed, I am not familiar with Hamilton, apparently. Emily F. asks, tell us a story. Oh, that would take a while. Angela asks, have you seen Van Gogh's Starry Night in a whole new way at the Amsterdam Light Festival? No. This year, I actually haven't seen much with the Amsterdam Light Festival. Susie Brown asked, if you ever did a file with ultra hypnosis, would you collectively use the trigger drop or sleep or try to avoid confusion? I mean, I'm sure that whatever we'll do will work. Rachel asks, have you ever raged quit a game? Yes. However, the only time I quit a game is when I feel that the game is like actually unfair. So if it establishes the rules very well, like Bennett Foddy or Getting Over It with Bennett Foddy, for example, I don't mind losing. But if a game basically breaks their own rules or is just really terribly made or is impossible to play, then like I wouldn't enjoy it. Or like just lots of cheaters. That's just meh. Phoebe James asked, have you heard about the article with Fiona and what are your thoughts on it? No, I haven't heard about anything. You can contact me on hypno.nimja.com/contact and please share with me the article with Fiona. It would be interesting. Brandon asks, can I listen to your birthday file a day before my birthday? No, you can listen to it a day after your birthday. You're generally allowed to open a present late, but not early. I wonder, maybe I actually say that you can listen the night before. Death asks, are you into football and do you support Ajax? I am not really into football at all. I am not into sports in general. Flayans asks, have you played the game Hollow Knight? I have not. It is one of those games that I probably want to play at some point. Susie Brown asks, would you ever do another week of uploading every day? No. I do this in my spare time. I'm a full-time programmer and I am already very busy. So, no, I am not doing that again. It was 14 days of a lot of like stress and effort and getting everything. Princess Unattainable asks, is the background music you're using in your files available as a separate file? It is not, and it won't be. It is my own music, and it's not something that I will spread like freely. Truple asks, how much money do you just spend on games? Not that much, actually. I do my best to avoid buying a ridiculous amount, and I use the Humble Bundle a lot. So even though I have a lot of games, it's not that bad. What did... Anyway, please, let's keep the discussion to this. We can look at the Fiona thing later. Alfred F. Jones asks, what is the most relaxing place you've ever been? A day spa. Eagle's Eye asks, name something you regret buying. There is a weird game. Oh, what is it called? There's not many games that I really regret buying, but there was a puzzle game called Toki Tori, I think. And I don't know, for some reason, it's really... I like the concept, but the game was just really not nice for me. And unfortunately, I would like to watch Gravity Falls, but it's not on the Dutch Netflix, which is a shame. A game that I was actually not into but got into more was, I think it's called A Story About My Uncle. And I quite enjoyed it after a while, but the beginning is a bit rough. Safre Bleu asks, does it ever get overwhelming knowing how many people watch you? Yeah, it's kind of a weird thing to realize that every day people watch tens of days just of my voice, and having almost 150,000 subscribers is quite humbling. Alfred F. Jones asks, what is the best compliment you've ever received? The best compliment. Probably... I think that someone appreciated that I was doing my best to learn. Oh, Wolfie fan, I'm so sorry. And spamming smileys generally doesn't work very well, Wolfie fan. And Bogdan the Lurker asks, your reaction to getting 1 million subs? Well, if it goes the same rate it goes now, that'll be in 10 years. So I'll be whew, wow, I'm still doing this. 15 years later. Tapsulog asks, if someone from a fantasy world requests you to go battle demons and give you any power that you would like, would you go? I would probably want to know more about what kind of demons, what kind of powers can I choose, etc., etc. And Minora asked, do you know the game Doki Doki? Do you mean the Literature Club one? I know of it. I haven't played it. And a penguin asks, how old are you? I am 38. Phoebe Jameson asks, what are your plans for the future, if you have any? Oh, I have a lot of plans, more than I have time to do them in. And Wolfie Fan says, that she's not in a good place, but that I make her feel better. And I'm very glad to hear that I'm helping make your life feel better. Brandon Cook asks, what is your favorite program you wrote? Actually, I'm really proud of the visuals. E-Series asks, what's your favorite superpower? Either Wolverine level healing, which means that you don't age, you don't die, you don't get sick, you basically like can live almost forever, or like Charles Xavier style telepathy. Irene Dusks asks, what is the weirdest request for an induction you've ever received? Well, inductions, generally, I don't get very weird requests. Most people ask more for like weird effects. And most of them fall under the category of like something humiliating or like disgracing or embarrassing. Rachel Me asks, do you think you're more of a good person or more of an evil person in terms with hypnosis or just in general? Considering the amount of effort I do to make sure that people can enjoy hypnosis safely and making the site easy to navigate, easy to like see the details of a file, I would say that I'm a good person. I work very hard at making hypnosis safe to enjoy. My persona of Nimja Inc. is more evil and morally questionable because that's fun, but that is a fantasy. Tapsilog asks, have you met any intersex people? Of course. Morgan Nixon asks, can you do a file for stage fright? I don't think people need to be more afraid on stage. Beneficial Star asks, how would you go about dealing with bratty littles? Threaten to take away their coloring books or their like Nintendo DS. Brandon Cook asks, do weighted blankets help with hypnosis? I mean, it depends on what makes you like relaxed. Dion asks, don't take everything literally. You sound like me. I believe that you're aware that I also take things literally, just like you. Minora asks, if someone attacks you without weapons, could you fight back? Well, yes. E-Series asks, who's your celebrity crush? I don't really know if I have one. I think one person I would really enjoy meeting is Björk. Just for no particular reason. And spending some time either with Brian Cox or with Stephen Fry would also be awesome. Picking their brains would be fantastic. Alfred F. Jones asks, what is the best or worst piece of advice you've ever received? One of the best that my dad gave me is have a buffer in your bank account. Make sure that no matter what, you have a few thousand, like of whichever currency, on your bank account that you do not use for anything for yourself, but you use in case of an emergency, like your washing machine breaks or, I don't know. Having a buffer is incredibly helpful. Also, no debts. I am very happy that the Netherlands is not a country where credit cards are common. Rianne Kelder asks, best comeback you ever made? It's always the one you think of the next day in the shower. Carla Ray asks, Star Trek or Star Wars? Yes. Tapsilog asks, have you ever been in a strip club? Actually, I have. Not exactly by my own choice, but it was funny. And Wolfie Fan asks, can you do more spanking files? I will eventually do more spanking files. We'll see. Several people ask, will you do any merchandise? No. So this is a question I've been asked a lot, and I'm not going to do any merchandise because the personality, the name I have, isn't for sale. The pins that I mentioned in the beginning of the live, these are special gifts. Like, these are not things you can pay for with money. They are gifts for people who have been supporting me for a very, very long time. And in a way that they've also been part of like what I've become. It is a way for me to thank them rather than for them to buy something of me. Yes, if someone would... Tapsilog asks, what if someone makes merch? Would it be bad and annoying? It is not allowed. My logo, my design is mine. I have the copyright of it, and people are not allowed to make merchandise with this. I would be quite upset, and I would actively try to stop them, because Nimja is my identity. It's my focus. It is not something I'm making money with. The money that I get from this is you supporting me to make more. And that's, for me, like internally, it's a very different intention. It's also my luck. Like, I don't have to earn money with this for my income. I work full time. Lily Jackson asks, is it good to have an obsession with something? No. If something is an obsession, it actually goes beyond the edge of good. Mokerly mentions that Everyday Focused has salvaged their last math exam. With ADHD, focusing is very rarely something I do, and I'm very glad to hear that it helped you with focusing, Mokerly. Tapsilog asks, have you ever met a succubus? If I had, I would not be alive. Unless the succubus thought I was not tasty enough, but not knowingly, no. Alfred F. Jones asked, do you have a lucky number? Yes, I do. Little Katza asked, would it be alright if I made a simple necklace with a logo not to sell but for myself? Well, no, it's not your logo. I would recommend that if you want to make a necklace, make something that's like represents yourself. Supporting someone is fine. Actually, 4 or 42. Bogdan the Lurker asks, what would your Dearman voice sound like? Ooh, Sarah Puppy asks, what was your most enjoyable experience at a hypno workshop? Well, 2 things. One, seeing other hypnotists work in front of me was just really awesome. Seeing Lex from Entrancement UK, Sensual Spiral, and English Harry do things that like I didn't consider, or do things that I haven't thought of, or do it in ways that I haven't thought of. And that was really nice to learn from. So as in an experience for myself to learn, that was awesome. As for doing, not everything I could say would be suitable for on stream, but the resistance challenge that I did and the resistance game that I did with everyone was really fun. Lily Jackson asks, is it good to be selfless, putting others before yourself? Well, up to a point. You need to be healthy and have energy yourself to help others. Becca Rose asks, what is the main thing you like about yourself? What is your best feature? That I'm willing to learn. Even that I don't always learn as quickly or as good as I want to, I would still be willing to learn. Eagle's Eye asks, most awkward moment. This one? Cyflo Mike Fangirl asks, can you purr? Alfred F. Jones asks, what would the current chapter of your life be titled? Upwards and Onwards. Carla Ray asks, have you ever allowed anyone to try and hypnotize you? Sure. Now, 9 more minutes and then it's over. Rachel Me asks, do you think it's weird that America thinks the number 13 is so unlucky that most elevators don't have a number 13 floor? No. People have, superstitions. Lily Jackson asks, if you saw a loved one self-harming, what would you do? I would talk to them and I would support them and I would tell them to seek out professional help. Because I'm not educated to deal with them with as much help as they need. Oh, poor Madeleine, joining in the last 9 minutes. It's not like the time isn't defined like months in advance. Cheyenne asks, I've had no cool ideas lately. Is there something you really want someone to draw for you? Or could I message you about this? Well, the thing you could draw, it's hard to give it a strict definition, but basically draw how you experience a file. What goes through your head? What thing do you see? Alfred F. Jones asks, what do you want your legacy to be? A smile on someone's lips. Mudleaf asks, when can we expect more little files? I don't know. And the live stream is always the first Sunday of the month, or the first Monday after the first Sunday of the month for those living a lot more east than this, like Australia or Japan. But the time is always the same. Marian asks, how do you feel right now? I am feeling very good. Also, just for Sue. Irene Dusks asks, any hints for the 500th file? Yes. Unfortunately for you, the hint is on Patreon. Muhahaha. Although I think the hint would make more sense after the fact. It's even asked, do you have work after this or you're just going to sleep? Well, I have to work tomorrow morning. Right now it is 11:24 p.m. here in Amsterdam, the Netherlands. Safra Bleu asks, I can only hear your accent on some of your words. Why do you think this is? Because I've been speaking English for a very, very long time. Five more minutes, people. I am very glad, by the way, that I don't have to directly go to work after this. It would be kind of a weird mood. It even asks, you can speak another language? Yes. Ik spreche vier spraches. En ook nog eens Nederlands. Et je parle un petit peu de français. Hey, Nanika. Watashi wa Nihongo ga wakarimasu. Demo mada jouzu jarimasen. Lily Jackson asks, Sir, could you please try to say this phrase? Let me see what it says there. Hey, hvordan har du det? Looks like Danish, but I'm not sure. Interesting question. Phoebe Jameson asks, are you exclusively dominant or do you enjoy being more submissive every now and then? People who enjoy both sides are called switch. And I am not a switch, I am a dominant. And this is not because I don't like the idea, it's just that it doesn't do anything for me. So when it comes to like dominance, I'm neutral most of the time. I don't have a need to dominate everyone all the time. Although I'm sure some people would say that my presence is a bit dominant at times. Ah, it was Norwegian. Cheyenne asks, if you could immediately be completely fluent in a language you now don't know, which? I know, maybe Chinese, but I don't have a big need for it. Diante, sorry, Swai. And no, I'm sorry, Liwai, I cannot pronounce that. Clever Nickname asks, how much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? This sentence has been in my mind ever since Monkey Island. Which is a very old game, by the way. Ooh, Sparkly Ember asks, have you ever seen the Aurora Borealis? I have not. I have been to Sweden, but I don't think I've been north enough to see the Aurora Borealis. Manlief Cornelisse asks, can you please say 9999 in Dutch? Eagle's Eye asks, what anime are you currently watching? Hero Mask. It's sort of a weird James Bond-ish thing. And last questions. Midnight of Chaos asked, Nimja, what would you do if you suddenly woke up and found you were a dragon? I'd be really annoyed. I mean, dragons tend to have rather large claws. So I would not have any easy way to tell you guys that I've been turned into a dragon. Rachel Me asks, what's the last sentence you think you'd say before you die? Is that an asteroid? Sorry, I don't have a real, like... Louis asks, what's your mic? This is the Rode NT USB with a shock mount. All right. Well, it is time. Thank you, everyone, for being here and for all your questions. And thank you, my patrons and donators, for your continued amazing support and all the subscribers, because, yeah, I wouldn't be able to do this without any of you. Thank you so much. Don't drop and drive, indeed. Now, have fun, everyone. This was Nimja Live. Wake.